All right, you guys, this is our Math Monday activity. I want you to go into your bins and pull out the number book that we were working on last week. Miss Dodie is such a silly goose and she forgot hers at school, and I'm at my house right now. So I wanted to make my own number book for us to work on together. This week we're working on the number 2, so I made my own. Here's Miss Dodie's. It's a little bit bigger than yours, but yours should look just like this. I want you to go into your bin, and the materials you'll need are this, some scissors, and some glue. All right, let's get started. Around the edges of your paper, there's going to be a dotted line that you don't see on Miss Dodie's page. That means we want to cut that. So I want you to take your scissors. I have big kitchen scissors right now, but remember we put our thumb on the top, stick it in, and our other fingers go on the bottom so we can chomp, chomp, chomp. All right, let's start cutting. I want you to cut out all of your number 2 page. Number 2, that's what we're talking about today. So we're going to cut all along the dotted lines. And Miss Dodie's going to pretend that there's dotted lines on her paper. So cut them all the way out. Cut, 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 cut. Remember how we talked about it's kind of like an alligator chomping away on the paper? You want to hold your paper with one hand and cut with the other hand. This one's kind of hard. We haven't learned to use scissors all the way yet. Chomp, 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 chomp. And chomp, 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 chomp. And one more side because we have 4 sides on a rectangle. Chomp, 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 chomp. All right, now we have our paper all cut out and ready for our book. I want to make sure that you have the number 2. So I'm going to put mine on my binder and I'm going to pull it down just a little bit so you can see. All right, so we want to trace the number 2. First word is trace. Starts with the letter T. You should see a dotted number 2. Miss Dodie made her own dotted number 2, but that's where we're going to start. So when you draw the number 2, you're going to start at the top. You're going to start at the top, and you're going to follow the lines. So we're going to do loop around, diagonal line down, and line across. Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. We made the number 2. Do it again. Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. Good job. So we traced it. So we want to color 2. The number 2 means we have 2 things. So we could say 2 fingers, 1, 2. We could say 2 socks, 1, 2. 2 socks, 1, 2. We could say 2 eyes, 1, 2. We could say 2 ears, 1, 2. So we want to color 2. On your paper, there's bears, but Miss Dodie didn't draw bears. She just drew circles. So she's going to color 2 circles. So I want to do 1. I colored 1 circle. 2. 2 circles. 1, 2. Give your brain a kiss if you knew that. Good job. There's 2 more things that we have to do. We did 1, 2 things, and we have 1, 2 things to go. The next one we want to do is writing. Writing is kind of hard. Tracing is a little bit easier because we know exactly where to go. So now we're going to have to use our smart brains to figure out how to write all by ourselves. So remember, we started at the top, did a little loop around, diagonal line down, and line across. So let's start at the top. loop around, diagonal line down, line across. You made the number 2. Very good. Do it again. Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. Let's do 2 more 2s. 1, 2 more 2s. Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. Oh, silly Miss Doty, you couldn't see that. The camera wasn't moved down low enough. All right, you ready? Loop around, diagonal line down, line across. Very good. We drew the number 2 all by ourselves. The last one says paste. What do you think of our supplies we're going to need to paste? Our paper, our scissors, or our glue? You're right, our glue. We need to get our glue sticks out. Or if you have regular glue, get your glue bottle out. All right. I want you to go into your paper that has the balloons on it. Last week, we cut the number 1 balloon out. This week, we're going to find the one that looks like the numbers we've already drawn. 2. Can you find the balloon that looks like a 2? Find the balloon that looks like a 2. There's a rectangle around the balloon. We need to cut that out because there's dotted lines. So we're going to get our fingers ready, put our thumb on top. Put the thumb on top, fingers on the bottom, and chomp, 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 chomp. So I want to see you cut, 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 cut. Excuse me. Cut, 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 cut. A rectangle out for the number 2. I want to see you put your thumb in the top, other fingers go in the bottom, and you're going to cut, cut, cut. If you need help, sometimes we need help to hold the paper with our other hand because it's a lot to do. We only have 2 hands. The number 2. We only have 2 hands and we need scissors and paper. So sometimes we need an adult to help us hold our paper and cut, cut, cut. All right, once you've cut that balloon out, I want you to give your brain a kiss. Very good for cutting. And I want you to get your glue. We're going to paste or glue. Paste is another word for glue. Our number 2 balloon right in this blank spot. Right in this blank spot. So squeeze out your glue or rub on your glue stick and then stick it on your paper. And once you've done that, you should have a whole page to go in your number book. So I want you to find your number 1 page. And I want you to hold that one up. Go to your book. Find your number 1 page. Hold it up. Very good. And then I want you to stick this number 2 page behind your number 1 page. So I want your number 1 page to be here. And I want your number 2 page to be behind your 1 page. And you can put it back in your bucket because next week we're going to do the number 3. Very good. You guys, we did all the number 2 that we need to do today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and get all your other schoolwork done.